Yo, what is going on, you guys, and welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to be covering how to win all of your early game fights in Fortnite Season 4. Please keep in mind that this is mainly for solos, but some of these tricks are applicable to trios. I am going to be going over some very important tips and tricks for you guys to succeed in all of your early game fights. This video will include the best tips that any type of player can apply into their gameplay. As always, be sure to watch the entire video all the way through in order to get all the information. Also, YouTube is telling me that 86% of you are not subscribed, so be sure to sub to the channel for more tips and tricks content. Anyways, without wasting any more of your time, let's hop into this video. So, many competitive players, including myself, struggle with winning all of their early game fights very consistently. Even the top tier European pro, Mr. Savage, still struggles with winning all of his off-spawn engagements. Arguably, the most important factor in winning your early game fights is to find a good drop spot and loot path. If you guys do need a drop spot, then be sure to check out my solo drop spot video in the top right corner. You guys need to make sure that you find a super good drop spot and land there every single game. Seriously, even if the bus is super far away, you guys should really try and land there. So, the main reason for this is because it eliminates bad RNG. For those of you that do not know, RNG stands for random number generator. In non-nerd terms though, it basically is your luck in the game. If you land at the same place on the same chest, then your bad luck will be cut down because you know that you are guaranteed at least a little bit of loot. All of the good competitive players have a drop spot and loot route that they follow every single game. If you want to succeed in competitive, having a good drop spot and loot route that you land at every single game and play consistently is very important. I'm going to give you guys the example of my loot route. So I land at the shark every game, and I always land on the same chest on the nose of the shark. I then make my way down to 3 more chests and some slurp barrels. After this, I continue my way down to the lower layer and get the final amount of slurp barrels. By this time, I have full shield and a ton of guns. And the best part is that the first circle has not even closed yet. After I'm done looting the shark, I grab a boat and go on my way to the circle. In my personal opinion, shark is a great drop spot that works for me because it has a lot of shield, it has tons of loot, and it has plenty of mats. Believe me, if you guys need a solo drop spot and you're not sure where to land, please consider the shark. It's an incredible drop spot. If I do have any early game engagements at the shark, I will almost always have guns and shield from the slurp barrels and chests that I loot very quickly. If someone lands on the same chest as you, then you should know that the weapon always comes out on the right side of the chest. So when you open a chest, you should put your crosshair on the right side in order to get the weapon first. Here's an example. Alright, the next best way to ensure that you win your early game fights is to practice your mechanics that matter in early game fights the most. As you guys probably know, I am obsessed with practicing my aim. I feel that aim is the most important mechanic simply because it's the way that people actually scope in and hit their shots. If you have good aim, you can easily clutch out in a bunch of fights. So if you guys want to practice your aim, I made a video covering how to practice your aim on console and mobile, how to practice your aim on PC for free, and how to aim train for a little bit of money but see insane results. Along with your aim, you should obviously practice your building and editing by doing edit courses and piece control edit courses. The moral of the story is basically that you should practice all aspects of your mechanics equally, including your aim. Also, if you do lose an early game fight, be sure to go back into your replays and see exactly what you did wrong. I know sometimes it may seem like you did nothing wrong when you died, but when you die, it's pretty much always your fault, because at the end of the day, you are the common denominator in your gameplay. Essentially, it's almost impossible that your pump didn't shoot 10 games in a row. So just be sure to hop into replays and check out what you could have done to win the early game fights that you lose. For example, if you die to a guy who boxed you like a fish, then maybe you should VOD review and realize that you should have claimed piece control before he did. The main point is that you should always look and learn from your mistakes in order to become a better player. Basically, every single professional player does this, including Benji Fishy, Mr. Savage, and Mongrel. And I know it seems like I'm bringing up European pros a lot, maybe it's because I was just watching the DreamHack EU finals, I don't know why. On top of VOD reviewing yourself, what you can do is VOD review top tier pros like Benji Fishy and see where they land and how they loot. You can also see the way that they played their early game fights and their movement in those intense situations. Some recommendations of pros to early game VOD review are Benji Fishy, Bielanas, Kiriachi, Cooler Aqua, Acorn, and Vanished Jock. If you guys want to see some more pros to VOD review, then be sure to check out my most recent video where I talk about some of the best pros to VOD review and learn from. Learning from your mistakes is how anybody basically learns. VOD reviewing is very, very easy because you can just go into your replays, and it's also very, very effective because then you see what you did wrong and you make sure that you apply it into your next games. My recommendation would be to VOD review whenever you die, regardless of how good you are or how bad you are. Anyways, guys, that is the guide on how to win more of your early game fights. If you did make it this far, be sure to comment Sonata equals bad in the comment section down below. If you do this, I will be sure to reply to your comment and give you a heart, and maybe even pin your comment if you're the first one to do it. Also, thank you so much for the support recently. I am so grateful for 200 subs, and I can't wait to get to 1,000. As a matter of fact, right now I think we're at like 250 something, so we're almost at 300, boys. Also, don't forget to follow my Twitter and join my Discord if you guys want to join my community. There is a link in the description. Also, a lot of people have been asking me for my PC specs and my setup. There is stuff in the description about what I have in my setup and what my PC specs are, so be sure to check that out if you guys are curious. Anyway, that is it for me, guys. Be sure to like and sub, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.